So what's really going on, my Stay True crew? Welcome back to another video. On today's episode, we're making something special. I don't even know what we're making, but by popular demand, here she is again, my mom. Let's go. She's gonna be in charge today. I'm gonna be behind the camera again.
Good morning and welcome, and I'm glad to be here today with you guys, and I know that you're going to be subscribing, giving me a thumbs up. Today I'm going to make some pork shoulder in a red chili sauce, and I'm going to walk you through, and I hope you like it. It's one of our favorites, and let's get started. For today's ingredients, I'm going to be making some salsa, but I'm also going to be flavoring the meat once it's cooked. I'm going to grind in my molcajete, or mortar or pestle, however you call it, some garlic, and I'm going to put in some spices, a couple of black peppercorns, a little bit of Mexican oregano, and just a pinch of cumin, because it's pretty strong, so we don't want to overdo that. But this is the way that you can get your spices completely ground. So
are these all your ingredients? Are you going to be using your cordless blender?
My cordless blender. You like it? It's ancient history. Now here comes some noise, a little bit of noise. And I'm setting this aside because what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my peppers, roast them a little bit, not too much so they don't get bitter. Then I'm going to hydrate them in hot water. And as to the tomatillos, I actually am going to dice them very fine and put them into the meat when I'm cooking it. I like the way that it flavors the meat. So that's going to be next, and that's going to be after my meat is cooked. Actually, I need some salt to help me grind this, just a little bit, so they won't slip around too much. It's good if you have like kosher salt or something that's a little bit not so fine. It helps you grind. But oh, I can already smell it. I can already smell the cumin and the black pepper. I can smell the garlic. This is going to give a really good flavor to the meat when we're frying it up.
Alright, I'm going to step in real quick and help you out
right
here.
Okay, your hands are stronger than mine.
No, I just wanted to help.
Can you smell it?
It smells delicious. What else you got in here?
I got oregano, Mexican oregano, black pepper, and then I also have allspice, a couple of allspices, a pinch of cumin, garlic and salt.
And it smells delicious.
And I'm going to put that on top of the meat when I'm frying it. I'm going to add a little bit of water to help you out, because I need help too. I'm stepping away and getting some water for you.
All right. And meanwhile, I continue to do all of this using this cordless blender. We got a nice little paste going.
I have a blender and a food processor, but I don't know, this just, it takes me back to my childhood. And you can really smell it. You can really smell it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's going to flavor the meat. Okay, so I'm going to be cutting the meat and cooking it in, of course, water, salt, onion, a little bit of bay leaf, some garlic cloves, some black pepper, a little bit of cumin, but the cumin I'm not going to use it right now. I'm going to use it for the sauce. And today I'm going to be using 3 different peppers, some for spice, some for color, and I hope that you will like it. This is one of our favorite dishes, and we usually serve it with beans and rice. So I'm going to be cooking the meat, and while the meat is cooking, I'll get back with you, because it's going to take about an hour, roughly. And in the meantime, we'll be thinking about making the sauce. I put enough water to cover the meat, and I put a piece of onion, and I left the root on so that it doesn't fall apart and I have to be fishing for it. So that's all you need. You need to cover it. I'm going to add some salt. And I'm just going to use Himalayan salt because that's what I have handy. You can use whatever salt you like. Just a few. And then we have it. I'm going to take it to the stove and let it start cooking. I'm going to be doing a very fine dice of these tomatillos and a little bit of onion. Like I said, that's only for flavor. But the onion, I'm going to grate it. I'm not going to chop it up. I'm going to grate it so it'll be better, and it'll go with the rest of the liquid. But for now, I'm just gonna do a fine chop of the tomatillos. Tomatillo, aside from giving flavor to the meat, it releases collagen and it makes your sauce a little thicker, but also gives it a very good flavor. The mixture of the chiles and the tomatillo and the salsa, everything goes all good together. And this is how I learned to make it a long time ago. And so that's why I continue to make it like this. I'm going to check on my meat and see if it needs defoaming. There's a little bit of foam, not too much yet. So I'll check it again in a little bit. While I'm letting the meat cook until it's tender, at the same time I'm cooking my nopales. That's going to go into my dish today. And I'm going to stir them around so that all of them get cooked evenly. I put garlic, piece of onion, a little bit of salt, and I put 2 of the skins from the tomatillos that I have. And that's going to keep all the stuff that it releases from getting too much. It'll absorb it. Also, cooking it with the water will help it. I don't know what it's called. In Spanish it's baba, but that doesn't sound good. But it's the same thing as what okra does. It releases something that's a little bit slimy, but it's all good. It's collagen. It's good for you. I'm going to grate some onion, and that's gonna flavor my meat when I fry it. And that way you won't find any pieces or chunks, and it'll absorb much better into the meat. It's just a small piece of onion that's gonna go in there, along with my spices. That's why I'm putting it on top of my mortar or my molcajete. I'm going to start making my salsa. I'm gonna put a couple of drops of oil in a little skillet because I want to toast the peppers just a little bit. Not too much so they won't get bitter. And then I'm gonna hydrate them in hot water. And what I have here is 2 bolitas, some cascabeles, 4 cascabeles, 4 guajillos that I've already cleaned and deveined and lid open. And I have 3 chile de árbol. So we really have, what, 4 kinds of chiles. And they won't be too spicy because mostly, guajillos are mostly for flavor. So that's going to be my salsa right now. Just a slight toast to bring out the flavor. Then put them in boiling water to hydrate. The chiles have now hydrated. They're ready for the blender. First I'm going to blend the chiles with a clove of garlic, and then I'm going to add the tomatoes after this has been blended. I'm going to put a little bit of the liquid in there where I soak the chiles. Just enough, just so the blades will start going. And some of the cooked onion in here, and my tomatoes that I have previously roasted and peeled. They're going to go in the blender. Now that my meat is getting a little bit of brownish flavor also, I'm going to go ahead and add the tomatillos that I've diced previously. And then the flavor on the meat. I wish you could smell it. It smells great. I'm going to add a little bit of water to get all the little flavor out of there. Now that my tomatillos are cooked, I'm going to be adding the sauce. And again, I want to get all the sauce out of my blender. So I'm going to step away to get some water. I set aside some of the broth where I cooked my meat, and I'm going to add it in here to make sure that the meat is covered, because I'm going to add the nopales, and then I'm going to let it simmer in there for about 15-20 minutes. And now I'm ready to add my nopales that I previously cooked. I'm going to just go right in there. There we go. Now we're gonna put it on low and just let it simmer. I'm gonna cover it up and just let it simmer. Well, we're ready to serve. As you can see, somebody's already been in here, but everything's ready to roll. I'm going to plump up my rice just a little bit more. And I have some beans, and on these beans what I did is I cut up 2 strips of bacon, fried them up. I diced a little piece of jalapeno, fresh jalapeno. I fried up some guajillos and some chile de árbol and garlic for flavor, a little bit of cumin, and I mashed them all up. These are the beans that we like here at this house because they're full of flavor. They're not too spicy because I only used a little piece of jalapeno. I like serranos also, but they seem to be a little bit on the hotter side. So we've got our rice, our Spanish rice. We've got our carne de puerco con nopalitos. Look at that, okay? Don't tell me that doesn't look good. And some of the beans. So we're ready to serve up so we can have a taste. Now you can have this with flour tortilla or with corn tortilla or with no tortilla. It's totally up to you. But it does taste good with tortilla. Dear Lord, I thank you for all your blessings, for everything that you supply for us. We are so blessed. Let's see, a little bit of each thing. Ooh, this tortilla's hot. It's so good. The meat is so tender. It falls apart. And it's not as hot, spicy hot as I thought it would be. Actually, it turned out pretty good. I want you to give me a thumbs up, like it, subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything and it'll help the channel. Enjoy. Till next time. Gotta continue. Thank you for watching. Stay true to the flavor. Pray always for your meals, and God bless.